Some of the rare ragas which only existed in Gurbani Sangeet are there in Rabindra Sangeet. So, those who knew him and of him, they say that at the age of 10 he wrote his first poem. It was on Guru Gobind Singh at Shimla. That's Rabindranath Tagore. So, if at all we all could learn to celebrate our civilization the way our grand elders did. We celebrate big names, but we don't realize how much they knew, how intimately knew the length and breadth of our civilization. And the way they cherished diversity, they accepted all colors in the orchard. Their idea of an orchard was fascinating. If at all we could just, press the on button, then we see them talk, then we see them sing. Then we see them act and enact. So I'm personally very grateful to Guru Baba Nanak that I have an opportunity to be up and about when we all get to celebrate, or we are converging, the 550th birth anniversary celebrations. And my dear friend thanked my Prime Minister and my country's Foreign Affairs Minister for doing that. He didn't thank me that I am also singing today. That's on a light note. You can laugh actually, it's okay. Baba says, haste hue, uthte hue, baiठte hue, khelte hue, vicche hobe mukti. बीच में मुक्ति होती है, हंसते खेलते उठते बैठते. हम थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही अकड़ जाते हैं. We get a little too frozen in the name of spirituality. And may I introduce Dr. Francesca Casio. She's the professor of musicology here at the Hofstra University, Long Island, and she's also holding the Siddharthi Harbans Kaur Chair on Sikh musicology. Parvinder Singh Bhamra has come all the way from Italy. He's married to an Italian architect, Subha Kaur, and he's been my student since the age of 19 or so. His grandfather, Yani Harbhajan Singh Mistry, was a World War II veteran, and the one who last made the instruments from the Gurbani Sangeet until 1949. So I discovered him in the winter of 91-92 when I'd just given up my flying career. I was joined the Air Force to fly 147 FPC is what I was selected for, January 90. And so being a champion aeromodeler, I could work with the wood. So I handcrafted all the extinct instruments back to life. So this is grandfather, maternal grandfather, World War II veteran, a fascinating soldier, who taught me in 95. So since 2003, he's been my tutelage. He used to be a furniture jointer until then, but he's now, he taught the Kathak Kendra 5-year diploma, and he's now one of the finest exponents of Pakhavaj of his generation in the world. And he's based in Italy now. And we have your local or neighborly, friendly neighborhood from New Jersey. We are in New York, is it? We don't know when we cross over waters from one state to another. Sandhya Anand is a classical violinist from the Carnatic Sangeet tradition. And I'm very happy it's the second time we meet. And we don't meet in green rooms, we just meet and tune instruments. So whatever happens here, it's all going to happen here. We don't rehearse. I mean, I don't rehearse, I'm a little bad. Anyway, let's get on with the evening, and I'm very glad that Honorable Master General was there in the room earlier, mentioned that this is the 4th of the Betak series. But I guess this is the first of the Guru Nanak commemoration. So I still take away a first, is it? I'm just kidding. First of the 5 foot, isn't it? So yeah, I should, being miserly, you mean. And what can I say of Guru Baba Nanak? I mean, as Bhai Sahab was mentioning about him, he rendered a kabit from Bhai Gurdas. Ke Satguru Nanak Pragataya Miti Dhund Jaga Chanan Hoa. You have to just visualize what was the dhund, what was the mist at the time. What is being referred in that kabit by Bhai Gurdas, the maternal uncle of the 5th Guru. So imagine that dhund. Imagine, then you will see what life it was. And then you will see the difference he made. You see, it was not, we say, oh, we glorify, oh, miti dhund jag chanan hua, that he was born and the dhund went. No, he walked 38,000 miles. It just didn't go like this. It took him 239 years until Guru Gobind Singh, the sacrifices made by Guru Gobind Singh. Then we saw, let's just say, it was visibility, maybe you could take off. You see, these grand elders have only cleared ways for our planes. As an aviator, ex-aviator if I may, धुन तो भगवान की बनाई वो ना जाएगी. वो शैतान भी उसी ने बनाया, अपने आप भी उसने अपने आप को बनाया. Huh? The one did oneself and also created the idea of the devil. It's created, who are we to sort of lock the devil up in a barrel? What doesn't work. So what the grand elders have done in and time out is to clear the runway. To give us enough visibility we can take off and emancipate, be emancipated. Right? It's redemption, our individual redemption. The whole game of the world will go on. That's beyond my might, beyond your might, beyond the might of any scripture. They're all done by us. It's said that's the eternal truth. Nothing came from the skies. We can say we can glorify anything. That's the reality Guru Baba Nanak wakes us up to. Right? So I'm personally so grateful, but we all have to be grateful for the phenomenon done by the Karta, by the Kartar called Guru Baba Nanak. And that moment in Sultanpur Lodhi, where I'm in the process of setting up a conservatory dedicated to of course, founded by Guru Nanak in 1521. My ancestor Bhai Sadharan was one of the major products. Bhai Lerna, Bhai Sadharan, two of his greatest disciples. So the Anad Khand, Anadi, the Khand with no beginning, or where all the 5 Khandas taught by Guru Nanak are being taught. That is where when Guru Nanak disappeared into the river Bhai, and when he came after 3 days and nights, he was asked, where did you go? He says, Sachkhand, I went to heaven. I went to meet God. He says, what happened? That is where the Mool Mantra was. He did the Ucharan of Mool Mantra, where I will begin. I will do some Alap Manglacharan with Mool Mantra. They say, what was the conversation like? What all he would have said is said, but one thing that is recorded by us all as Gursikhs and the ones who were inspired by him, says, Nanak, Tu Gur Parameswara, my Parbrahm Parameswara. It's phenomenal. This is where it just stopped for once and for all, everybody calling that I am God. You know, we are the done. These are very organic realizations he honors us with. He makes us ornate. We are the Kita, we are not the Karta. You may call anything. One within 5 elements. Kabir Sahib and Ghosh father, when some tried to debate, we five elements, but who created the 5 elements? Only Kabir has asked that question. You can talk hanky-panky, whatever, you can brag anything, but then who created the 5 elements? Let's talk about that one. So, it is extraordinary. My purpose of sharing these couple of thoughts is that let us not just think it is a date. Dates come and dates go. I've got a few grays. Honorable, my respected Consul General has yet to grow his beard. I mean, I see what I see on a naughty note. But point I'm making is, if I may come back, that I have spent a few years now. I've seen many tithis come and go. We've been part of several celebrations. Sometimes I've kept away from celebrations because of the hypocrisy, because of, sort of the mismatch between, it was just a commodification of dates, I think Guru Baba Nanak wakes us up to our own selves. And if we can start, maybe this year we look at ourselves. Let's measure the vices that we still have to, our work in progress part, and the virtues that we have succeeded in ornating ourselves with, that done list. right? And in that space, we will maybe be able to say a note of gratitude for his teaching. When Pancham Pita Guru Arjan says, "Ki Gur Manar Prayadayar Seorang Kiya," it's a, Guru Granth Sahib is 120 dialects and languages, 24 languages, 120 dialects. Extraordinary celebration diversity, right? It's not one language. Tera naam rudo, rup rudo, atrang rudo, mera naam is Marwadi. I'll be singing Aarti today. When Guru Nanak went to Jagannath Puri, he sang not in Punjabi, he sang in Maithili. Gaganamai thal, Rav Chandi, Bane Tare Kamandal Janaka Moti, Dhup Malayan, Lo Pavana Chavru Kare Sakal Vanarai, Fulant Jyoti, Koi Si Aarti, Hoy Bhavgatana Teri Aarti, Anatha Sabad Vajan Taneri. What Tagore called the anthem of the whole mankind. Right? So, Puja, Puja, Rafti Puja, Mervis, Bhagat Namdev 6 centuries ago singing in Arabic. Anile Kagar Katile Gudi Akas Vade is Marathi from 6 centuries ago. When you bow to Guru Granth, you bow to diversity. That Parampur Parmeswara is not a monolingual idea. You may be who you are, you may be whatever. You may be speaking any language, that language may have a vocabulary this much, that may have a vocabulary this much. But the one Karta, your Karta will find a way to converse with you. And if you're worthy, revelation will occur. A simple formula, simple decorums. Anyway, I bring to you the greetings of my whole nation. And I compliment you, I congratulate you for the 550th birth anniversary. And I will now sing. I will start with some Mangla Charan. The first rag of Guru Granth Sahib is Raga Shri, after the initial preludes of Jap and Raharas and others. The 31 chapters, the first chapter is 31, is Raga Shri. Is, I think, the only scripture in the world which is indexed in Raga, melodic mode chapters. So it's a very fascinating composition by Guru Nanak, which the text I will share when I begin. Before I will do a few minutes of Mangla Charan and Alap, and I hope you all will join in and meditate and be silent and be in a state of awe, hopefully. And then may I have your permission. And I renounced my career, as I said, as a 19-year-old, that serving the intangible assets of the nation is also serving the nation. I'm a Fauji kid, right? So we have a very different, our DNA is different. So one of the things I've been able to recover is the Pakhavat tradition, the oldest Pakhavat school of South Asia. And it's not just the drum that Parminder will play, he's one of my main students in percussion. The rasam, the ritual that he will play is not just hanky-panky. This is how for centuries, as Bhai Gurdas says, Ki Ghar Ghar Baba Gaviya Vajjan Tal Mridanga Rababa. With Guru Nanak, Rabab and the Pakhavaj were played. The Mridanga was played. So we are, by way of our association with Guru Nanak, the oldest living school of Pakhavaj in South Asia. Karnataka is not as old. There's three, Dr. Omilyal Puram is direct student of Swami Tyagaraja. And the others, they are all 3 centuries, 50, 4 centuries maximum. The only tradition, the oldest tradition that lives is from the tradition of the Darbar Sahib Amritsar, which I've been very fortunate to recover. And I've taught him. He stayed with me for several years. So all that he will play, just know you're going back to what Tagore saw in the Golden Temple. The compositions I'm singing are from there, and unfortunately, part of my conservation work, revival work that's still going on, this music is no longer resonating or purifying the waters of the Sarovar as endowed, as envisioned by the Gurus. That's my work which is going on in Punjab. I'm slowly, bit by bit recovering. So the drums you will see, they'll be played along with the composition, unlike the modern idea of classical music, where it is more sort of, okay, now you play, now I sing, now you play. It's not like that, it goes together. It's called Saath Bajana, plays along. But it is played, it is a very structured evolution from when I will begin the composition, the Asthai Antara Sanchariya Bhog. The world of Dhruva didn't know this. So in the last few decades I've been able to sensitize people about how the original Drupal was not the late 19th century idea of Drupal or the 20th century idea of Drupal, which is considerably changed after 1950. In the asthai, there's a particular rasam of playing Pahavat. It's slow-tempoed, very complex structures, slow-tempoed structure, but complex. Then the antara would have the dugun, then the asthai would come back to the paki dugun, then the sanchari would have the ar, multiples of threes, and then the abhog will have paki tigan. It's very structured evolution, and as Professor Kamlesh Datta Tripathi, Professor Emeritus of the Banaras Hindu University, once when he first saw it, he said, this is reminding me of the Nandi from millenniums ago. How they also began in the beginning with playing the Bhai. So you see a lot of, from an anthropological perspective, from a musicological perspective, archaeological perspective, even from literary perspective, analytical, anything. Look at it from semiotically, you will find marvels. As I say, it's one of the untapped reservoirs of information is the tradition of Gurbani Sangeet. May I begin? You know, when I look down to drink a glass of water, I see this, and I know I'm in trouble. Guru Baba Nanak's very naughty still. Shadwal Sahab, dekho. I wonder if this is your conspiracy. Are you being naughty with me? So I'm going to do this now. Oh, actually, look at this. Enjoy and responsible. I'm glad I turned it over. I didn't write it, right? This is lovely. Let's start before I find something else. Many scholars have tried to say Guru Baba Nanak said nothing new, for it is all written. I asked them, show me somewhere where Omkar is prefixed with a numeric 1. His thesis is that. Rest we will talk, we can talk on. Brahma also spoke every day, but in the end we would go Naiti. Naiti. We can go on talking. We can go on yapping. The numeric kick. And it's not a linguistic kick, it is a numeric kick. And that is the magnificence of Baba Nanak. The way he values time, there's no time. If I have one moment with you, he shows you what can be shown in numeric ik, in one bit. That's it. We are so used to retrospective pardon seeking that I made an error. Oh, please forgive me. You see what is happening? In prospect you're seeking that may you not waver. May I not trip over. May I not be tempted. May I be unfazed. You see, extraordinary concepts. These are rare. Then you will understand what the Guru Parmeshwara is saying. If you carry your man, then how would you know who's the Nimanyada man? If you have your own accumulated man, oh, I am the Karta of my man. I am so and so and so, and I got this, this and this. What would you do? It's an art, you see, like you shed your clothes. But we can shed our ego, isn't it? That's a syapa, as we say in Punjabi. Huh? You can shed your day's accumulations. Oh, I got a massive contract today. You can shed it. In Rag Mala Uthe Tan Kalol. It's Kalol. You see, you're coaxing Nimane the man. You're telling, hey, you're the man. You're the Mane the man. Hoping that Parvardikar will get coaxed. And say, then they'll say, okay, what do you want? Well, be my man too, so please. That's the whole purpose. See the reduction? Reduced. That I am the reduced one. मैं थोड़ा ऊना हाँ तू पूरे होचे हाँ हाँ तू पूरा The Rajaswini Club of Shri Rag. And the So from description, the one who installs, the one who emancipates. So it's praise. When you see his quotes, please also emancipate me, it turns into a prayer. Can you imagine? Just this much. ये तारीफ है गुरु तारीफ जब तरले में बदल जाती है यूं होता है कुछ हाँ Gaza, the homeless. I saw it about 2 a.m. sheltered in the New Jersey Penn Station, and I'm praying for them too. सतगुरु संग कीरे हम थापे धन धन गुरु नानक जन केरा जित मिले चूके सब सोग संतापे. It's the last chapter of my Mangala. आजकल ये चलता है आजकल. वो परंपरा ये नहीं थी, ये तो दरबारी परंपरा है ना. अनंत को नन कर दिया, हरि को री 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 कर दिया, नारायण को न कर दिया. अरे अब तो किसी औरंगजेब की तलवार नहीं है सर पे टंगी. अब तो ये तो गाली दिया, काहे का डर है भैया? तो जी कि मैं झूठ बोलिया है कि ना, कोई ना सच बोलिया. अप्रभंश के नाम पे मतलब जो मर्जी करे जाए आप. मंगलाचरण आदि भी जिंदा है. बड़ी तलवारें आएंगे, बदल दो. ये गुरु नानक का दर है, अबदल है, अतल है. चखा नहीं आनंद को क्या गाओगे रे? मुझे मेरी हलीमी का भ्रम रहे कि मैं तो झूठ ही बोल रहा हूँ, चखा मैंने भी नहीं है भैया, मुझे सिर्फ बात आती है करनी अभी तक। वैसे कुछ बातें हैं जिनको कार्ड की जरूरत नहीं होती, तारीफ की। मॉनिटर में मेरी आवाज बढ़ाइए। कैन यू हियर मी वेल? सो मॉनिटर थोड़ा मैनेज कीजिएगा। So I have a philosophic question. If at all. So until now, what have you been playing? It had been a few minutes I hadn't laughed, so. Until you get it, would you have that moment of joy? No, you won't, no? You want to be an astronaut until you are in space, you will enjoy. So, Nand, इसका संधि विच्छेद करें, जब नंद आ जाए, तो जो हुए हैं, वो किसी अवस्था का नाम है, ये संबोधन है। अमल कर धरती बीज सब दो कर सच किया बनित दे पानी होए किरसान ईमान जमाए लै भीसत दोजक मूड़े एम जानी। इसे डांट की तान लोग बड़ा सोचते मस्का लगा रहे हैं, गुरु बड़े खुश होके गाते हैं। और लोग मूड़ा कैसे कहते हैं? मूर्ख को, महामूर्ख को मूड़ा कहते हैं। ये मूर्ख स्वर्ग नरक दोजक और तो जानेगा जब तक ये ना करेगा। तो मेथोडोलॉजी, स्टॉप टॉकिंग अबाउट हेवन एंड हेल until you do this. डांट की तान कहलाती है। तीख चोक लाग डांट सुर संगत। तीखा होवे सुर, चोखा होवे सुर, लगाओ के दादा है। फिर कहते डांट कितना दिए जी, डांट भी पानी है, हो गए सुरां दी संगत सुरीली डांट हो गई, बेसुरी ना हो गई. It should be a tuneful scold, not an out of tune scold. The composition of the Guru Baba Nanak is scolding. Focused on everything else, but conserving the intangible heritage and assets endowed upon us by the Bhagats, Bhagats Kabir, Bhagats Namdev, Bhagat Ravidas, the Gurus, Bhagat Jayadev, born 1170, Baba Sheikh Farid, the Grand Sufi, born 1173 AD. What about their endowments? We've never focused on that. Even exegesis, we are relying on 20th century dictionaries to decipher the Bani written centuries ago. We forget the value of sustaining the original streams, the indigenous pedagogical processes. Without that, it's my interpretation. We are on a hermeneutic curve. Interpretation, estimation, and assumptions. But what is the real? That you have to be connected with the tradition.
Pa
another one of the authors of Gurbani, and he's from Chennai area. And also the reason why we have the Carnatic Sangeet here. We're celebrating, you see. The country is celebrating. The world is celebrating. All together. And Bhagat Tanna, all of the Aarti or Artha as they sang were all in Dhanasari, and so did Guru Nanak responded back. It's an extraordinary composition which Rabindranath Tagore has said that is the anthem of the whole humankind. And Guru Nanak says, what Aarti, what worship in our own enacted or created spaces. Look at the Mother Nature and the worship that it renders every moment of the karta, of the doer. And he says, and people, the scholars and the pundits, they didn't understand that moment, so he sang, Ke Gagana mai thal, the sky is my plate, the whole sky. Ravi Chand Deepak bane. The suns and the moons have become mine, the lamps in my thali. And Tarika Mandal Janagamoti, or the constellation of stars, is the offering of jewels in that plate. Dhoop Malayanalo Pavana Chavaro Kare. Dhoop, the Malayanalo, the Deccan, the sandalwood forests are called that. He says the dhoop is coming are the Malayanalo forests. And Pavan, the air is the chavar, is the, what do you call the, I'm forgetting, the fan of the chavar with the hair, chavar, huh? And Sagal Banarai Fulant Jyoti. And all sprout, and as the char khanis, the 4 khanis that are under Jajera Jaseta Jyotu, 4 forms of life as codified in the classical Indic Palom. It's the 4 Vanis, the Char Vaniya, the Parapashanti Madhama Bakari, and the 4 Khanis, the under Jajera Jaseta Janut Bhujo. So the Utbhuj, all the Fulant Jyoti, Sagala Vanarai, Fulant Jyoti, all the sprout, everything that is sprouted in existence has become my Fulant Jyoti, is the food, as the offering of flowers along with the Jyoti. So then he says, Kaisi Aarti, in wonderment he says, oh, what a wondrous Aarti. Oh Bhavagandan, Teri Aarti, your worship, Anahata Sabad Vajantaveri. And the Anahata is endless. And Anahat is without Had, endless, but Anahat is unstruck, which needs no 5 elements. None of the 5, because water with water can also produce sound. So you need even 1 element to produce sound, the Adnada. But Anahata Sabada Vajantaveri. So this is his, then he says, Sahasatava Nainan. I mean, we the Sikhs don't even know how to read it. Mathli, we Punjabis, we twist and turn everything. So you look at Sahasatava Nayan and Nan, it's wrong. I'm from the old school. Nayan is singular in Mathli. Is Nayan. Nayanan is plural. Hazara teriya akh, thousands your eye, thousands eye nahi hunda, thousands of eyes hunda. Thousands of eye nahi hunda. So Sahasatava Nayanan, na Nayan hai to eko. So Nayan is singular. Sahas, kya ho ji gall hai? Nukta, kyun ji? Aaya maza ke nahi? Sach duron dekhega ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ It doesn't need any intellectual discourse to convince people. It's like this. You open your eyes and see, I see you, and I see you. So sahasa tava nayanan, hazara teri akkha. Hazara means countless. Sahasa tava nayanan, na nayan hai tuhe ko. Sahasa muradane. Sahasa muradane, na ek tohi. Sahasa pad bimalana, na ek pad kadavin. Sahastav Gandiv Chalam. You will see it is absolutely right. But even in the Darbar Sahib Amritsar, they read it wrong. So that is what I do with my Singhs, I wrestle with them. Then they say, oh yes, Bhai Sahib, that's true. So that's the kind of jhadu and the dang sota that I have to engage with my own little, very, very beautiful community that I come from. But this is one, you ask that I am the direct descendant of Bhai Sadharan. What can you share? This is one jewel from the oldest exegetical attendant, tradition that I'm trying to recover. This is one jewel for all of you. And this is a very precious one. Imagine, from now on you will read it correct. This is Maithili, not Punjabi. I mean, in any case, what is Nan? It's not Angreji. Sahastav Nan, Nan. Sahastav Nan. You will see me sing like that too. Sahasatav nayanan na nayan hai to eko sahas murutana na ek to hi sahas pad bibalana na ek pad gandhavir sahastav gandhav chalat boi sab mahi jyoti hai soe tis kai chanan sab mahi janan hoye gur sakhi jyoti pragat hoye jyotis bhav hai so arati hoye har charan kaval makarand lobit manu andinu mohe ahi pyasa kripa chal de nanak saram ka hoye chata tere naam vasa. This is what Tagore said as the anthem of the world. Nanak never said it. Baba Nanak just sang. The jewelers have said, oh wow, that's a great jewel. That has to be the anthem of the whole universe. Because this kind of formulation, nobody has ever done. So let's sing some Aarti according to the classical traditions of India, of South Asia. Aartis have been sung in Dhanasari, and Guru Nanak sang, honored that. But he sang his Aarti. His Aarti, and the Aarti of Parampur Parmeshwara. Smoked. You said you were a nice fellow. In India, usually they say Punjabi is only of agriculture. But what do you hear the raga that I sing? Do you think we are more than agriculture? But we also have a Sandhi Vichhed of agriculture. We always are in agreement. We also have that culture. Sade kai culture hai. And then we have a culture of never agreeing with each other too. So that's also there. मैं लड़ूंगा आपसे हाँ अच्छा Dhani, then the Dhanyasi and then Shri. There's the Shri of the Kafi Mela. We also sing that. Only the Karnataka Sangeet and we, the Gurbani Sangeet people, sing the original Shri. Imagine. The rest of the Hindustani have forgotten that. Dhana Shri, Dhani and Dhanyasi and Shri. Can you imagine? Surprise. I'm reminded of the fifth Guru's, Guru Arjan Dev Maharaj's original. Just look at it and see what is the difference between a composed song and a revealed song. As I wrote in my Hofstra conference in 2008, what is the difference between like a man-made song and when Baba said, "Mardane rabab chhed kai se khuda di kariye ke bani aayi hai." What's the difference with Bani Ai and Bani Banai? Huge difference. Really like the Grand Canyon and the Taj Mahal. One is the man-made wonder, men and women made wonder. One is the nature's, is a natural wonder. I think there's a huge difference. The sunsets and sunrises are different. Perhaps at the Taj Mahal, you can find yourself. The Grand Canyon-like wonders are the moments to lose yourself. To find that there is none other. That you were either always there or you've never been there. The difference. Look at this original Maharaj's Jehva Ek Kavan Gun Kahi hai. Pancham Pitas. As the Guru Khalsa said, when I was with my Dadi, Nyang Baba Jagat Singh, his daughter, my maternal great-grandfather's daughter, Bibi Sankar, born 1900, said, "Son, never forget the journey this knowledge has taken to reach you. Through the times of persecution that you remember in the Ardas, this knowledge has come through that. Honor it well. Do not underestimate it. Do not forget the value, how it has reached you, the journey the knowledge has taken." And this is one of those jewels. Just to sing you one, and I go towards Aarti. Look at the construct of Panchamrita. Jeva ek kavan guna, Jeva ek kavan guna kaiya. So Bhai is full of virility, but Gandhar is of humbleness. That I only have one. It is the tongue. But it's only one. If you look at the mutualism between the Rag, Tal and Shabad and Surati, you will see a fascinating oneness. You can split the words and you will see it's extraordinary. जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया, जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया, एक कवन गुण कहिया, जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया, जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया, बेसुमार बेअंत स्वामी, बेसुमार बेअंत स्वामी, तेरो अंत न के नहीं, नहीं है, तेरो अंत न के नहीं, नहीं है, जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया, तुम गादे ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, तुम दाते ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, नायक कसम हमारे. The valley of Honka, the side, and the Khasam, you will see. तुम दादे ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, नायक कसम हमारे, निमक निमक तुम ही प्रतिपालो, हम बालक तुम्हारे धारे, जेवा एक कवन गुण कहिया. You see, एक जेवा and gun, one tongue and a virtue, the praise, and then you see Guru Nanak with one tongue, the way he praises. That is the Aarti. Then you will see the magnificence of the idea called Guru Nanak's Aarti. कैसी आरती
Gurbani
Pardon seeking that I made an error. Oh, please forgive me. You see what is happening? In prospect you're seeking that may you not waver, may I not trip over, may I not be tempted, may I be unfazed. You see, extraordinary concepts. These are rare. Niradhar Naam. Rakho, Rakho, Prabhu. Is saying, if you carry your man, then how would you know who's the Nimane other man? If you have your own accumulated man, oh, I am the Karta of my man. I'm so and so and so, and I got this, this and this. What would you do? It's an art, you see, like you shed your clothes. But we can shed our ego, isn't it? That's a syapa, as you say in Punjabi. Huh? You can shed your day's accumulations. Oh, I got a massive contract today. You can shed it. In Rag Mara Uthe Tan Kalol, this Kalol. You see, you're coaxing Nimanya the man. They're telling, hey, you're the man, you're the man, hoping that Parvardikar will get coaxed. And say, then say, okay, what do you want? Well, be my man too, please. That's the whole purpose. मैं थोड़ा ऊना हाँ तू पूरे हो चे हाँ हाँ तू पूरा हो The Rajaswini club of Shri Raga. And the description, the one who installs, the one who emancipates. So, it's praise. When you see his quotes, please also emancipate me. It turns into a prayer. Can you imagine? Just this much. Tarif hai. Guru Gari तारीफ जब तरले में बदल जाती है यूं होता है कुछ हाँ I saw it about 2 a.m. sheltered in the New Jersey Penn Station, and I'm praying for them too. सतगुरु संग कीरे हम थापे धन धन गुरु नानक जन केरा जित मिले चूके सब सोग संतापे. It's the last chरण of my mother. आजकल ये चलता है आजकल. वो परंपरा ये नहीं थी, ये तो दरबारी परंपरा है ना. अनंत को न कर दिया, हरि को री 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 कर दिया, नारायण को न कर दिया. अरे अब तो किसी औरंगजेब की तलवार नहीं है सर पे टंगी. अब तो ये तो गाली दिया, काहे का डर है भैया. जी कि मैं झूठ बोलिया है कि ना, कोई ना सच बोलिया। अप्रभंश के नाम पे मतलब जो मर्जी करे जाए आप। मंगलाचरण आदि भी जिंदा है। बड़ी तलवारें आएंगे बदल दो। ये गुरु नानक का दर है, अबदल है, अतल है। अरे चखा नहीं आनंद को क्या कहोगे रे? मुझे मेरी हलीमी का भ्रम रहे कि मैं तो झूठ ही बोल रहा हूं, चखा मैंने भी नहीं है भैया, मुझे सिर्फ बात आती है करनी अभी तक। वैसे कुछ बातें हैं जिनको काट की जरूरत नहीं होती तारीफ की। So monitor में मेरी आवाज बढ़ाइए। Can you hear me well? So monitor थोड़ा मैनेज कीजिएगा।
Is this connected?
So I have a philosophic question. I have a philosophic question, if at all. So until now, what have you been playing? It had been a few minutes. I hadn't laughed, so. If you thrive for a Lamborghini, until you get it, would you have that moment of joy? No, you won't, no. You want to be an astronaut, until you are in space, you will enjoy. So, नंद, इसका संधि विच्छेद करें। जब नंद आ जाए, तो जो हुए हैं, वो किसी अवस्था का नाम है, ये संबोधन है। Guru Gari नानक स्पदा श्री राग माला पहला अमल कर धरती बीज सब दो कर सच किया बनित देह पानी होए किरसान ईमान जमायल भीसत दोजक मूड़े एम जानी। इसे डांट की तान लोग बड़ा सोचते मस्का लगा रहे हैं, गुरु बड़े खुश होके गाते हैं। तो लोग बूढ़ा कैसे कहते हैं? मूर्ख को महापुरुष को बूढ़ा कहते हैं। अरे मूर्ख, स्वर्ग नर्क दोजक और तो जानेगा जब तक ये ना करेगा। तो मेथोडोलॉजी, स्टॉप टॉकिंग अबाउट हेवन एंड हेल until you do this। डांट की तान कहलाती है। तीख चोक लाग डांट सुर संगत, तीखा होवे सुर चोखा होवे सुर लगाओ के दादा है। फिर कहते डांट के दादी है, डांट भी पानी होवे सुरा की संगत सुरीली डांट हो गई, बेसुरी ना हो गई। It should be a tuneful scold, not an out of tune scold। The composition of Guru Baba Nanak is scolding। Nobody is focused on the intangible heritage. Unfortunately, in the last 8, 9, 10 decades, focused on everything else, but conserving the intangible heritage and assets endowed upon us by the Bhagats, Bhagats Kabir, Bhagats Namdev, Bhagat Ravidas, the Gurus, Bhagat Jayadev, born 1170, Baba Sheikh Farid, the Grand Sufi, born 1173 AD. What about their endowments? We've never focused on that. Even exegesis, we are relying on 20th century dictionaries to decipher the Bani written centuries ago. We forget the value of sustaining the original streams, the indigenous pedagogical processes. Without that, it's my interpretation. We're on a hermeneutic curve. Interpretation, estimation, and assumptions. But what is the real? That you have to be connected with the tradition.
Ah
Ramanand is another one of the authors of Gurbani, and he's from Chennai area. And also the reason why we have the Carnatic Sangeet here. He's celebrating, you see. The country is celebrating. The world is celebrating. The world is all together. Ravidas and Bhagat Tanna, all of the Aarti or Artha as they sang were all in Dhanasari, and so did Guru Nanak responded back. It's an extraordinary composition which Rabindranath Tagore has said that is the anthem of the whole humankind. And Guru Nanak says, what Aarti, what worship in our own enacted or created spaces. Look at the Mother Nature and the worship that it renders every moment of the karta, of the doer. And he says, and people, the scholars and the pandits, they didn't understand that moment, so he sang, Ke Gagana mai thal, the sky is my plate, the whole sky. Ravi Chand Deepak bane. The suns and the moons have become mine, the lamps in my thali. And Tarika Mandal Janagamoti, or the constellation of stars, is the offering of jewels in that plate. Dhoop Malayanalo Pavana Chavaro Kare. The Malayanalo, the Deccan, the sandalwood forests are called that. He says the dhoop is coming are the Malayanalo forests. And Pavan, the air is the chavar, is the, what do you call the, forgetting, the fan of the chavar with the hair, chavar, huh? And Sagar Banarai Fulant Jyoti. And all sprout, and as the char khanis, the 4 khanis are under Jajera Jaseta Jyoti, 4 forms of life as codified in the classical Indic Palon. It's the 4 vanis, the char vaniya, the Parapashanti Madhama Bakari, and the 4 khanis are under Jajera Jaseta Janutbhujo. So the Utbhuj, all the Fulant Jyoti, Sagar Banarai Fulant Jyoti, all the sprout, everything that is sprouted in existence has become my Fulant Jyoti, is the food, as the offering of flowers along with the Jyoti. So then he says, Kaisi Aarti hoye Baba? In wonderment he says, oh, what a wondrous Aarti. Oh Baba Gandan, Keri Aarti, your worship. Anahata Sabad Vajantaveri. And the Anahata is endless. And Anahat is without had, endless, but Anahat is unstruck, which needs no 5 elements. None of the 5, because water with water can also produce sound. So you need even 1 element to produce sound, the Adnada. But Anahata Sabada Vajantaveri. So this is his, then he says, Sahasatava Nainan. I mean, we the Sikhs don't even know how to read it. Mathli, we Punjabis, we twist and turn everything. So you look at Sahasatava Nayan and Nan, it's wrong. I'm from the old school. Nayan is singular in Mathili. It's Nayan. Nayanan is plural. Hazara teriya akh, thousands your eye, thousands eye nahi hunda, thousands of eyes hunda. Thousands of eye nahi hunda. So Sahasatava Nayanan, na Nayan hai to eko. So na Nayan is singular. Sahas, kya ho ji gall hai? Nukta, kyun ji? Aaya maza ke nahi? Sach duron dekhega tuhanu. It doesn't need any intellectual discourse to convince people. It's like this. You open your eyes and see, I see you, and I see you. So sahasa tava nayanan, hazara teri akkha. Hazara means countless. Sahasa tava nayanan, na nayan hai tuhe ko. Sahasa muradane. Sahasa muradane. Na ek tohi. Sahasa pad bimalana. Na ek pad kadavil. Sahasta kadav chalat. You will see it is absolutely right. But even in the Darbar Sahib Amritsar, they read it wrong. So that is what I do with my Singhs, you know, I wrestle with them. Then they say, oh yes, Bhai Sahib, that's true. So that's the kind of jhadu and the dang sota that I have to engage with my own little, very, very beautiful community that I come from. But this is one, you ask that I am the direct descendant of Bhai Sadharan. What can you share? This is one jewel from the oldest exegetical attendant, tradition that I'm trying to recover. This is one jewel for all of you. And this is a very precious one. Imagine, from now on you will read it correct. This is Maithili, not Punjabi. I mean, in any case, what is Nan? It's not Angreji. Sahastava Nan, Nan. Sahastava Nan. You will see me sing like that too. Sahasatava nayanan na nayan hai to eko sahas murutana na ek to hi sahas pad bibalana na ek pad gandh mere sahastava gandh vichalat hohi sab mahi jyoti hai soye tis kai chanan sab mahi janan hoye gur sakhi jyoti pragat hoye jyotis bhav hai so arati hoye har charan kaval makarand lobit manu andino mohe ahi pyasa kripa jal de nanak saran kau hoye chata tere naam vasa. This is what Tagore said as the anthem of the world. Nanak never said it. Baba Nanak just sang. The jewelers have said, oh wow, that's a great jewel. That has to be the anthem of the whole universe. Because this kind of formulation, nobody has ever done. So let's sing some Aarti according to the classical traditions of India, of South Asia. Aartis have been sung in Dhanasari, and Guru Nanak sang, honored that. But he sang his Aarti, and the Aarti of Parampur Parmeshwara. You said you were a nice fellow. In India, usually they say Punjabi is only of agriculture. But what do you hear the raga that I sing? Do you think we are more than agriculture? But we also have a Sandhi Vichhed of agriculture. We always are in agreement. We also have that culture. And then we have cultures, we have a culture of never agreeing with each other too. So that's also there. मैं लड़ूंगा आपसे हाँ अच्छा zaga ga pa ga ni ga ni ga pa ga ni 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 ga ni ga ga dhani then the Nyasi and then Shri there's the Shri of the Kafi Mela. We also sing that. Only the Karnataka Sangeet and we the Gurbani Sangeet people sing the original Shri. Imagine. The rest of the Hindustani has forgotten that. There is Dhana Shri, Dhani and Dhanyasi and Shri. Can you imagine? Surprise, isn't it? I'm reminded of the fifth Guru's, Guru Arjan Dev Maharaj's original. Just look at it and see what is the difference between a composed song and a revealed song. As I wrote in my Hofstra conference in 2008, what is the difference between like a man-made song and when Baba said, "Mardane rabab chhed kai se khuda di kariye ke bani aayi hai." What's the difference with bani aayi and bani banai? Huge difference. Really like the Grand Canyon and the Taj Mahal. One is the man-made wonder, men and women-made wonder. One is the nature's, it's a natural wonder. I think there's a huge difference. The sunsets and sunrises are different. Perhaps at the Taj Mahal, you can find yourself. The Grand Canyon-like wonders are the moments to lose yourself. To find that there is none other. That you were either always there or you've never been there. The difference. Look at this original Maharaj's Jehva Ek Kavan Gun Kahi hai. Pancham Pitas. As the Guru Khal said, when I was with Dadi, Young Baba Jagat Singh, his daughter, my maternal great-grandfather's daughter, Bibi Sankar, born 1900, said, "Son, never forget the journey this knowledge has taken to reach you. Through the times of persecution that you remember in the Ardas, this knowledge has come through that. Honor it well. Do not underestimate it. Do not forget the value, how it has reached you, the journey the knowledge has taken." And this is one of those jewels. Just to sing you one, and I go towards Aarti. Look at the construct of Panchamrita. Jeva ek kavan guna, Jeva ek kavan guna, kaiya so Pa is full of virility, but Gandhar is of humbleness. Jeva, that I only have one. It is the tongue, Jeva, but it's only one. If you look at the mutualism between the Rag, Tal and Shabad and Surati, you will see a fascinating oneness. You can split the words and you will see it's extraordinary. Jeva ek kavan gun kahiya, Jeva ek kavan gun kahiya, ek kavan gun kahiya, Jeva ek kavan gun kahiya, Jeva ek kavan gun kahiya, besumar beyante Swami, besumar beyante Swami, tero ante na ke nahi, nahi hai, tero ante na ke nahi, nahi hai, Jeva ek kavan gun kahiya, tum gade ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, तुम दाते ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, नायक कसम हमारे. The value of honka, the side, and the khasam, you will see. Tum gade ठाकुर प्रतिपालक, नायक कसम हमारे, निमक निमक तुम ही प्रतिपालो, हम बालक तुम्हारे धारे, जेवा एक कवन गुण kahiya. You see, ek jehva and gun, one tongue and a virtue, the praise, and then you see Guru Nanak with one tongue, the way he praises. That is the arti. Then you will see the magnificence of the idea called Guru Nanak's arti. आरती कैसी आरती होए, आरती कैसी आरती होए, आरती कैसी आरती होए, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, अनदा शब्द वाजोंद भेरी, अनदा शब्द वाजोंद भेरी, आरती कैसी आरती हुए, आरती कैसी आरती हुए, गगन मथाल रव चंद दीपक बने, गगन मथाल रवि चंद दीपक बने, तारे कमंडल जनक मोती, धूप मलयान लो पवन चमरो, करे धूप मलयान लो, सागल मन राय फूलांद ज्योति, फूलांद ज्योति, आरती कैसी आरती होए, आरती कैसी आरती होए, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, अनदा शब्द वाजोंद भेरी, आरती कैसी आरती होए, आरती कैसी आरती होए, सहज तव नयन नयन है तोय कहो, सहज तव नयन नयन है तोय कहो, सहज मूरति नायक तोहि, सहज पद विमलन ना एक पद गंध फेन, सहज पद विमलन ना एक पद गंध फेन, सहज सहज तव गंध, सहज पद विमलन ना एक पद गंध फेन, सहज तव गंध एव शरद मोहि, एव शरद मोहि, आरती कैसी आरती होए, आरती कैसी आरती होए, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, भव खंडना तेरी आरती, अनदा शब्द वाजोंद भेरी, अनदा शब्द वाजोंद Basudha Gagan Ek Ekankaram. In 2-3 minutes, I'll sing the original rendition. Maharaj, as a salutation to the Nar Narha Namaskaram, to the Ek Ekankaram. Ekankaram. Rag Ramkali. Anand Sahib is at Ramkali as well. I'm reminded of this. Ekankaram. Nar nar namaskaram. Nar nar namaskaram. Nar nar namaskaram. Nar nar Let me show you one secret of this composition. So Namaskaram, the phonetic comes. It's just about to lose form. And in Ramkali, there's a hidden note in this one. So Namaskaram is the Gupta. So my namaskar is only to the one who has no form, no name, no gender, no color. You will hear this composition copied by many, but as I represent the original tradition of the Dharamsal founded by Guru Nanak, these are only gotten if you associate formally, if you are actually taught. You cannot create concepts like this. And you see this, again I will demonstrate. Nar nar namaskaram. Namaskaram. Nar nar namaskaram. Nar nar. Every time you're sending a letter to the formless, is it being dropped there or not? Just think like that. Isn't it fascinating? Reservoir of information. These are not just commodified compositions of Shabad Ritis. These are living. They have still the magic key. If you put it in, the doors open. Pancham Pita, Tan Guru Arjan. Ha nar nar namaskar. Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. Namaskaram, nar nar hai. Namaskaram, nar nar hai. Namaskaram. Jalana dalana basudha gagana. Jalana dalana basudha gagana. Ek ekankaram. Ekankaram, 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 nar nar hai, namaskaram, nar nar hai, namaskaram. Namaskar, namaskaram, nar nar hai, namaskaram. Jalana dalana basudha gagana. Jalana dalana basudha gagana. Ek ekankaram, 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 nar nar hai, namaskaram, nar nar hai, namaskaram, nar nar hai, namaskaram, nar nar hai, namaskaram. Namaskaram, 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 nar nar hai, namaskaram. Jalana basudha gagana. पुन पुनः कर नय गिरह निरंहारं नय गिरह निरंहार हर हर पुन पुनः कर नय गिरह निरंहारं नय गिरह निरंहार नर है नमस्कार धीर धीर नामीर ऊंच भुजवारं हरन धरन पुर पुनः करण नह गिरह निरंहारं गंभीर धीर नाम हीर ऊंच ऊंच अपारं करण केल गुण अमोल नानक बलिहारं गंभीर धीर नाम हीर ऊंच ऊंच अपारं गंभीर धीर नाम हीर ऊंच ऊंच अपारं करण केल गुण अमोल नानक बलिहारं नर नर है नमस्कारं नर नर है नमस्कारं धीर धीर नाम हीर ऊंच भुजवारं करण केल गुण अमोल नानक बलिहारं नर नर है नमस्कारं नर नर है नमस्कार नमस्कार राम कली राम राम कली महला तीजा
Sandat
May you all be blessed. I would like to, I pray for all the colleagues and the Consulate General at this mission here, and may they all be blessed with happiness. May they represent the nation in a way that measures the highest norms of dignity. May my country be blessed, my countrymen and women be blessed. May they be happy. May they accept all diversity. May the country in which this mission is, may the country be blessed, may they all be happy too. And while singing, errors will all be mine. I wish for your prayers that may I at least learn how to sing this grand gift of Kirtana, as Guru Sahib says, Kaljug Mahi Kirtan Vardhana, Guru Mukhi Japiya Lai Dhyana. May we honor each other, may we respect each other. I'm a Fauji kid, so I pray also for all, and I almost became one, or perhaps I never could get away from being one. I pray for all the men and women who serve my country on its frontiers, guarding from the external threats. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.